Hey guys, Jimmy Davis here, and we're not quite back with Season 2 of Poopcast just yet. We're still trying to work out a way to get new microphones before we start recording the next season. But for right now, I thought you guys might like listening to this original unreleased pilot episode for Poopcast. We recorded this on January 14th, 2016, so that's 2.5 years ago and a full 11 months before we recorded the pilot episode that did end up on YouTube. The main reason why I never uploaded this episode was because we recorded this one in a moving car, which I guess we did that with the other pilot episode as well, but I feel like the audio quality in that one sounded a little bit better than this one. The audio quality in this one is not very good at all, so I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. It's still tolerable, it's just not very good, like I said. And we also recorded an intro for this when we got done driving, and I'm going to play that after I'm done with this intro, so it's going to be a little bit weird, but I figured I might as well upload this in its entirety, so you guys can hear exactly what it would have been like. And I also want to point out before this thing gets started that, like I said, we recorded this 2.5 years ago, so like 90% of the stuff we talk about, our opinions have changed on that, so I don't know. It's kind of a weird little interesting thing. If you're a fan of Poopcast, I think you might. I think you'll enjoy this. Like I said, audio quality is not very good, but it's still tolerable. Like I said. But anyway, I'm just gonna let the intro for this play then, and I didn't cut anything out. I'm leaving the everything from the intro and as well as the outro, so you can just hear this in its entirety. And I will keep you updated for when we get closer to starting on the next season of Poopcast. Hey, this is Jimmy Davis.
And this is a guy that loves pooping.
And we are doing the pilot for our podcast. We're calling it Poopcast right now. That was Logan's idea. A guy that loves pooping, if you don't know, his name is Logan. But that was his idea. We're sitting outside of a McDonald's right now because this pilot episode, this is the first time we've had time to record it, and we already recorded it, and we did it on the way here. So the sound quality is going to be kind of muffled. It's going to be kind of maybe a little bit bad. I don't know exactly. We're in a moving car, so it's not going to be perfect. But so hopefully, if it's unlistenable, I'm not going to use this. But the point of the pilot is not to have good sound quality. The sound quality will improve assuming we do make more podcasts. It's just to kind of see if we can hold your interest for 30 minutes. And so basically you can just listen through and just leave some feedback about if we should do a different name. If you guys have different ideas, I think for now I don't have a problem calling it Poopcast. But if you guys can come up with anything different or whatever, then you can just leave suggestions, and we'll maybe reconsider the name. And any kind of feedback if you think that we should be more prepared. We were just kind of having a conversation. You can leave topic examples you want us to go over in the comments, and we'll maybe consider that with the next podcast. I have no idea when we'll get a chance to do another one, but either way, yeah, just if you can just listen through, leave some feedback, that would be nice. Also, this is on YouTube. I think I don't know what it takes to do a SoundCloud type thing. I don't know if you need to if you need to set up an account, pay for it or whatever, but maybe we'll consider that in the future. But for right now, at least for the pilot episode, it's going up on YouTube on both of our channels. So, yeah, if you're subscribed to both of us, don't bother listening to the other one. It's the exact same thing. And if you're wondering, I told Logan he didn't have to say anything. That's why he hasn't been saying anything. But you can say something now. Or don't.
Smoke weed every day.
Okay. So, anyway, let's get into the podcast. Yeah, so, if you can't already tell, the sound is pretty bad. I'm sure, obviously I don't know what it sounds like right now, but I can only imagine it's pretty bad. But yeah, so again, like I said in the intro, try to ignore the bad sound quality and just focus on what we're talking about, and leave feedback. Feedback is very important. So anyway, it's probably going to be a little bit awkward starting out until we actually find a topic to talk about, and then we'll just kind of carry on a normal conversation, right, Logan?
Yep, I guess.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that input. You wouldn't normally laugh at that. Not like that, anyway. So, what should we talk about then?
Let's just. Wow. I thought we had a topic, but
I thought we did too. This starting out is a bit awkward. I might end up altering this slightly just because it's our first podcast, but
We could talk about just what's been going on in the YouTube poop community, I guess.
well, we're not. Let's talk about YouChew. You have a YouChew account, don't you?
I never use it.
I didn't think so. What is YouChew? I've kind of looked through there a little bit here and there, and every once in a while I kind of go back and just kind of look around, and it seems like it's basically like an outdated website from 2004 that's like a blog website where you just go and insult people like you're doing a Stuart K Reilly impression the entire time. Is that about what YouChew is like?
I don't know. I think it's just like a place where people can discuss YouTube poop and stuff.
So, yes. But I just mean, like, everybody there seems to be, like, incredibly rude. Like, I'm not even joking. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say everybody, but from what I've seen, well, to be fair, I've seen Stuart K Reilly there, and he is, Stuart K Reilly.
I honestly think with Stuart K Reilly, he comes off more rude than he actually is, I'm sure.
Well, I would hope so, because if he's worse in real life, I don't think anybody would want to be around him. I mean, okay, I really highly doubt Stuart K Reilly would ever listen to this or anything like that, but I don't mean to be a jerk to Stuart K Reilly. He does not come across as the type of person I would really want to be around. I would like to think that we could get along in real life, but I'm not seeing that based on how he tends to behave.
And, really, he's calmed down a lot in some of his more recent videos. Except his most recent one, which was... It wasn't really YouTube poop news, I'm going to be honest. It was basically just ranting for 12 minutes.
Yeah, I did listen to that.
And I did see someone in the comments disagree that YouTube poop won't get you anywhere, which I agree with the guy in the comments. He said it could help improve your editing skills and stuff, so it could get you somewhere in life.
Yeah, I do think YouTube poop, it is just for fun, but like anything else that's just for fun, it still has some sort of benefit in some way.
Well, even video games, for example.
Well, I was going to bring up video games, but then, there's Let's Players and reviewers, so you can make a living off of video games, so that's kind of a dead example. But then again, video games, that was a huge example of the whole, you're never going to be able to make a living off of that thing. Like, basically every gamer today on YouTube would probably tell you that that's what their parents told them all the time as kids.
Yeah.
So maybe, do you think YouTube poop will ever be able to be, like, do you think you'll ever be able to actually make money off of YouTube poop? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think it could happen. I mean, you never know. I mean, right now it's just kind of like, I don't know, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, I don't see it happening right now, but in the future, who knows, it could happen.
Well, I think the thing is, the copyright law is, it's pretty outdated at this point. What is it it's from the 60s, isn't it? I should really know this, but I'm pretty sure that it's, or maybe it's not the 60s, is it? 60s?
I think it's like, I don't know, sometime. I think it is.
Because I want to say it's something like 50 years old, or almost 50, something crazy like that. It's old. Either way, what'd you burp? Don't burp unless there's a pause.
All right.
Anyway, it's very old. Even if it's only a couple decades old, a lot has changed in the past 20 years. 20 years ago, the internet was pretty much non-existent. So the fact that there's just a lot that's changed, I really think they need to be updated to a certain degree, or at least clarified, because I really think that YouTube poop, I don't think that it's illegal. If I was more sure that it was illegal than I was sure that it was legal, I wouldn't be doing it. I would say it's about like a 75-25 split with me. There is the possibility that it's not quite legal, but I really don't think so. And for the most part, that's just kind of that's just covering a couple of areas, in terms of not being 100% sure whether or not they're legal. Like the fact that, you can't, in a movie or a TV show, you can't use, like, a song, for example, a copyrighted song without getting their permission. And YouTube poopers do that all the time. That's something I'm a little bit on the fence about, whether or not it's legal. But at the same time, I don't see it as a big deal. The fact that nobody's going to watch an entire 10-minute long YouTube poop to hear a short 5-second segment, sometimes even like distorted, sped up, slowed down, that type of thing, in the middle of a YouTube poop. Nobody's going to watch an entire YouTube poop just to hear that one small section of a song. So I really don't think there's anything morally wrong with that. It's just, a lot of times, copyright rules, it kind of just kind of comes down to greed, really, when you think about it. And you're not talking at all.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, it's like, I was thinking about what I was going to say. And, another thing I've noticed is, like, Pendleton Ward, for example, is a fan of YouTube poop. So I'm sure that if he saw, like, an Adventure Time poop, he would be fine with it.
Yeah,
and, it's like, there's a lot of people that are just fine with YouTube poops. Like, Nathaniel Bandy actually watched my mini YTP of him. He seemed to like that.
Yeah, I know that there are people who like YouTube poops. It's just not like companies that like YouTube poops.
Yeah.
Viacom and Fox. Well, the thing about I think one thing, if somebody was very, very anti-YouTube poop and was trying to prove that YouTube poops are illegal, I think they would likely point to like the fact that Fox takes down YouTube poops and be like, why they wouldn't be doing that if it was legal. But when you look at it, Fox is known for removing reviews and stuff that's very specifically covered by fair use. So I think the laws on YouTube poop are kind of gray, but I really do think that YouTube poop is legal. I'm just not 100% sure if we should push those limits and like try and monetize. I am sure that we should not push those limits and try and monetizing them. So I think that's going a little too far, but I think it is totally possible at some point in the future that YouTube poops could be monetized, kind of like Let's Plays. Like, before Let's Plays became a thing, you would think that playing through a video game, adding some commentary, and then making money off of that, you would think that would be illegal, right?
And now developers and publishers encourage it.
Yeah. And the other thing about YouTube poops is that they're not damaging the sale of the movies or TV shows, whatever, that they're pooping. If anything, they're encouraging it, because I've never watched, not that I can think of anyway, watched a YouTube poop where I got done watching it and thought, yep, I don't need to watch that episode anymore. I know exactly what happened.
And it's also thanks to YouTube poop that we got into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, that is true. I might have ended up buying it because I knew about it. I don't know if I would have ended up buying it or not. But yeah, there's that. I got into Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and it's a slightly different. It's not a YouTube poop, but it is an example of using copyrighted material. With bad lip reading. Or I should say his, because it's just one guy. But his bad lip reading of The Walking Dead is what got me interested in watching The Walking Dead. But apparently they're taking down some of his Walking Dead videos now. AMC is. They took down the Carl Papa music video, and he did. I think it was more Walking and Talking Dead Part 1 and Part 2, and they took down Part 2 or something like that, which had some of the funnier parts, like actually no, maybe that was okay, you know what, never mind, that was Part 1. This is where the kids go to die part.
It's been a while since I've watched them, and
you shouldn't watch them since you're watching The Walking Dead right now. You don't want to get spoilers.
I bought the first season like last year though, and I still haven't watched the second season.
Yeah.
So I think
it's on Netflix.
That's true. Maybe I should just rewatch the first season. I don't know. The first season I got through in like a few hours. I think it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
No, it was more than a few hours, but there's not that many episodes.
Yeah, there's hardly any at all.
I think there's like 6.
Another thing that we could talk about that's kind of relevant right now that kind of deals with copyright, fair use, monetization of gray area. Well, not even really gray area. We'll just talk about it. Reaction videos.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Cool Cat.
Cool Cat.
I guess that's not...
Well, Cool Cat's...
That's kind of not relevant anymore.
And that's just an example of one... Well, actually, we could talk about Cool Cat. Maybe we'll do that later. I do have some things that I would like to say about Cool Cat and Derek Savage. But anyway, reaction videos have really come under fire ever since I Hate Everything did I Hate reaction videos. And that's a thing that I think is the worst part about the internet is the fact that anytime a big name internet celebrity says or does something, everybody latches onto that and tries to emulate it. Like, and it also happens in the YouTube poop community. Anytime a big name YouTube pooper uses a source or makes a certain joke, everybody wants to do that, and it just gets old.
Although, I actually have to agree with I Hate Everything, though, where it's like, if you're doing reaction videos, you should do something with it, not just sit there and go, yep, oh, yeah, well, that's funny.
But what I want to say about reaction videos is, I really think that reaction videos should be for the content creator. Like, as a YouTube pooper, I've had, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Rajesh, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I know I'm getting that wrong, but, he does reaction videos, and he's reacted to some of my videos by request, and I really like watching those, and I really enjoy watching BSL reacts and whatever. But I think that a reaction video for a content creator is the only way it should be. You shouldn't react to just a random like movie trailer and then monetize it, because I think that's going way too far.
Yeah, I reaction videos. I think it was the Gamer from Mars where he kind of said that it's like with a Let's Play, it's really understandable why you could monetize that, because it's like, you're not watching it for the game or anything, and it's like
you're watching it for the commentary.
Whereas it's like, they try to do as much with it as they can, whereas a reactionist, which I still think is dumb, that name.
Well, is pooper any better?
Good point.
Maybe we should start calling ourselves poopists.
But yeah, anyway, reactors or reactionists or whatever you want to call them tend to just sit and watch it and not really do much with it. It's like, yeah, I can agree with that.
But what I'm trying to say is, like big name reactors like Jinx, for example. I can't say I hate the guy, but I think that's very shady what he's doing. And but as I was saying before about being a YouTube pooper watching reactions to my own videos, I really enjoy that, because rather than somebody commenting that at 322 LOL, then I have to go to the video, look it up, be like, what the heck was even at 322? I don't even know what that's what they're laughing at. But if it's a reaction video, then they don't have to say they LOL, they can actually laugh at it, and I can see them laughing at it. And then I can also see parts where they're clearly kind of bored or confused or whatever. And so I think that's what reaction video, like I said, I think I've said this 2 or 3 times now, but I think that's what reaction videos should be for. They should be for the person who made the video.
And I know you disagree with me on this, and a lot of other people, but I really like Chadtronic, because he, it's like, I know that you're like, well, they're not even reaction videos, but it's like,
you're just bringing this up so that you can make people hate me, aren't you?
No, you should be allowed to have an opinion. I'm just saying that I know that you disagree with this, but I do like Chadtronic, and I do like how he actually...
Well, the thing I don't like about Chadtronic is the fact that what he's doing is very clearly scripted. He's very obviously acting, and it's... I don't even think he ever uses a legitimate reaction. I really highly doubt it. At the best, he maybe watches it and then pauses and then laughs for the camera and then acts out a skit. And there's just something about the way he acts on camera. I just kind of find it to be obnoxious, personally. I don't mean anything against him. I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life, and I think we could get along, whatever. I just personally do not enjoy his videos. I don't hate them, but every once in a while I go back and watch his videos, and I think, I kind of like him. And then I watch him and realize, you know what, I kind of don't like him, actually. And, but, yeah, now I totally forgot what I was going to say beforehand. But
what were we talking about?
We were talking about reactionists.
Reactionists and Jinx, stuff like that.
It was probably nothing important. Actually, maybe I didn't even have anything to say. But yeah, so if you are a reactionist, a reactor, whatever it's the correct term is, you can react to my videos, and I will like that. But watching BSL reacts, for example, he seems to be like the big YouTube poop reactor. I've found that it's, he's never reacted to one of my videos before, but I've found that it's it's not as entertaining as watching a reaction to one of my own videos. And that's not because I like watching people like my stuff. It's just because I guess I don't really know how to explain it. I have a personal connection to the video they're reacting to, and I feel like it's just me sitting down with somebody watching them. Actually, you know what? I do know how to explain this. I make non-YTP videos. I have for many years, and every time I would show one of my videos, I would never go out of my way to show them to anybody else. I don't think anyway. I maybe did a couple times, but I would just, if they decided they wanted to watch it, I would just kind of go into the next room or even downstairs and just kind of wait at the bottom of the stairs and listen to them, see if they're laughing, because then they kind of give an honest reaction to it. And this doesn't connect at all to what I was saying before, does it?
It seemed like he was connecting. You just keep going.
I think that was it. I like watching reactions to my own videos. I would imagine other people do. And there are certain examples of, if there's this extreme video, like there's something in it that's extremely hilarious or extremely weird or something like that.
Awful.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. But I just mean like something that's, like, for example, when BSL reacted to Skellington's Revenge. Of course I watched that because that's an awesome YouTube poop. And stuff like that is entertaining. And I do every once in a while, I like BSL just recently, like the first week in January, whatever, he did like a reaction to a reaction a day, I'm pretty sure is what he did. I don't know if it lasted the full week or if it lasted a little longer than the week, but either way, it was for quite a while. And I think I skipped a couple of those, but for the most part, I watched, a couple that I was just totally unfamiliar with. And I think that's kind of a good way to get into watching other people's YouTube poops, because some of them were really freaking hilarious. I don't know if I subscribe to the people, maybe I should, but it was one that was a YouTube poop of the Valentine's Day episode of SpongeBob. I don't remember exactly what it was that I found hilarious about it, but I do remember really laughing at it, even though I was watching a reaction to it.
And also, there's another example of something we can talk about.
Huh.
Is SpongeBob a dead source, or can it still be used right?
Well, that's... no, it's not a dead source. I don't think. I was going to segue into something else now. What was it, though? What was I talking about? I was talking about BSL. Talking about... Oh, yeah, I was going to talk... Well, I guess we could also segue into SpongeBob from this, because I was going to say that... currently, I've found my favorite YouTuber currently is NP Carlson.
Yeah.
And the first YTP I ever watched of his was, I forget what it's called, that one that's the YTP of Born Again Crabs. What's that one called again? Crustaceous Cantankerous Redemption, something like that.
Something like that.
Either way, like, the first time I watched that one, pretty sure I started watching it because you recommended it to me.
Yeah.
But I stopped like halfway because I just thought, this is stupid. I think...
I loved it.
I think the thing is that it was... NP Carlson has a certain amount of, like, profanity and sex jokes, that sort of thing. It doesn't typically go too far, but it's kind of even throughout the entire YTP, and so I kind of was just half expecting it to get worse and worse, and I think that's why, anyway, I stopped watching. I watched up until the Rossetti part. I don't...
should I say what line it was? It was...
Davy Jones is an N-word.
But I remember the line that you said you stopped was I only had sex for 30 seconds.
Yes, well, I find that hilarious. But I think, like I said, I think that's what my mindset was that it's only going to get worse from here. But anyway, so then I watched the rest of it. The first time I watched it was BSL reacting to it. And so I think that I thought that I watched the whole thing, but I didn't actually watch it until after Emperor Lemon's Top 25 YTPs of 2015 was when I think I actually watched through the whole thing. And there was a lot of... personally, I think that should have been number one. but it wasn't my list. I'm not going to complain, obviously. That's awesome that I made it number one, but if it were my list, I think that MP Carlson's YTP would have made it number one.
I just had a thought. What if Emperor 11 would have put one of his poops on the list? What would have happened? What would have the reaction have been?
I wonder.
That would be an interesting thing.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking your own YTPs, obviously.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, there's different, I think I was actually going to segue into this from talking about, when you're making a YTP, in the end, if you don't like the YTP, you're doing it wrong, because you're the only one who knows exactly what you like in terms of comedy and stuff like that, so you should be able, I'm not trying to say that you're going to be able to make it exactly the way you want to if you don't have the video editing skills, but I'm just saying that you should at least enjoy your own YTPs.
Even if you eventually look back and realize, yeah, that was not that great.
No, I don't even think you should be like that. I mean, well, it's going to happen, like I look back at Junior's traumatizing home invasion experience, my first YTP, and think it's not that great.
And I look back on Ed's trippy, weird, and drugged up world, and I think this is terrible.
Yeah.
You actually agree with me on that, and I'm not going to punch you in the face for that because it's true.
Okay. But anyway, there is one thing though that does kind of bug me that I tend to see a lot of poopers do, and not just poopers either. It's something that a lot of YouTubers do that I find to be kind of obnoxious, a little bit. It comes off as a little pretentious, but whenever I'm looking at a YouTuber's channel, one thing I like to do is just kind of scroll through the liked videos, and when I see that they've actually literally liked their own videos, it just kind of comes off wrong, personally. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with liking your videos, for real, but I think if you're going to actually go and give it a like, that's kind of going a little bit too far for me, personally.
I don't see anything wrong with it, I just think it's pointless.
Well, I don't think it's terrible, I don't, lose all respect for that person or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, it kind of comes across as if Emperor 11 would have put one of his own YTPs on his top 25 YTPs of 2015 list. It just, I don't know. Some of his YTPs, maybe they do deserve to be on the top 25 list of 2015, but it would just come off as arrogance and being pretentious.
I've seen some of my favorite YouTubers, just YouTubers, YouTube poopers, and
you can talk a little louder.
That like their own videos. It's I've seen it happen before with like I said, with some of my favorite YouTubers.
I know, but it's that I was saying that too. I've seen that happen. I tend to see that a lot, and it's just, I don't know. It just comes off wrong, personally. Maybe it's just me, and like I said, I don't view it as a huge issue. It doesn't bother me for days or anything like that. It's just kind of a little. It just, how would I explain it? It'd be like if somebody came up to you and flicked you in the back of the head. It's not something worthy of being pissed off about, but it's not something that you're just going to be able to ignore.
Yeah, I guess.
That's how I see it anyway.
I don't know. I just see it as completely pointless.
Well, there's that too, but that kind of adds to it. Adds to the annoyance, the fact that it's pointless. We can't end there. We've still got a little ways to go. I don't know exactly how far, but
so we brought up SpongeBob and we brought up Cool Cat. What are we going to talk about?
I did actually see that Cool Cat did make his Twitter account public, but of course he deleted all the tweets involving I hate everything.
Well, maybe, just maybe, he regrets doing what he did.
I think he regrets doing what he did because of what happened, not because of the fact that he did it. I'm sure he still believes he's in the right. But there was one thing I did want to say about Derek Savage, which is the fact that I kind of feel bad for him, really, because when you look at the story of Cool Cat, the fact that Cool Cat was based on his childhood imaginary friend, Derek Savage seems to be very naive and trusting, and the fact that everybody was ironically loving Cool Cat, including making reviews that seemed like they were totally honest, even though they were obviously way too extreme. Cool Cat is the best movie since Citizen Kane or something like that. the fact that I think he legitimately believed that people loved his creation, and then when I Hate Everything came along, he was really, really harsh in that review, specifically towards Derek Savage himself as a person.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of what he does.
Well, I know, but just put yourself in Derek Savage's shoes. Just pretend that your childhood imaginary friend, you make that into a movie, and people seem to freaking love it. Everybody's loving it, saying that it's the best movie they've ever seen, and then some guy comes along and is just being a complete butthole about it. And like I said, I know I'm not trying to say anything bad about I Hate Everything. That's kind of his character. I think he goes a little too far sometimes, especially in the Cool Cat review. But for the most part, it's not a huge deal, I don't think. But just imagine yourself in that position. And then on top of that, YouTube's crappy copyright system. Well, it's improved, I think, now. But just imagine the fact that you can delete the video just by a couple clicks. And I would be willing to bet that Derek Savage probably thought that he was going to be able to do this anonymously, not just be able to delete it and it would be gone. But the fact that he takes it down and it specifically says video taken down by Derek Savage, I don't think he thought that was going to happen. And then the fact that people are way over rude on. Well, rude doesn't even begin to describe their attitude toward him. But I can't help but feel bad for him. I know I'm not trying to say that what he did is right. He was definitely in the wrong, and he was definitely very immature about the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I am saying that I don't think he's deserving of what he's getting. Personally, anyway.
I guess you made a good point.
But yeah, well, if you just need to look at his Twitter, and you can see that he's clearly very naive and trusting with, like somebody had sent him a tweet about, it was written as if it was a 5-year-old, and he retweeted it and said, that it was written by a 5-year-old or something like that. But it was so painfully obvious that it was just somebody pretending to be a kid, misspelling every single word, something about, my mommy says a cool cat is God for me. Only, I'm sure it was supposed to be good. Oh no, it was that your movies, spelled with MOVEES, your movies are God for me. But I'm pretty sure it was supposed to sound like good, whatever. But either way, that's the way it was written. I think there was like 2 words that were spelled correctly. And I know there was more. Oh yeah, I remember what the other one was. The other one was, this guy had tweeted at Cool Cat, whoa, my dad found this picture in his photo album. It's true, Cool Cat really does love all the kids. And it was a picture of the Slender Man creepypasta picture, Slender Man in the background behind all the kids, except Slender Man was replaced with Cool Cat, from the Cool Cat movie case, jumping up in the air and everything. And it was pretty decently photoshopped too, and I think that made it even funnier. And Cool Cat's like, wow, that's a really cool picture!
Well, wasn't there also one where it was, oh my goodness, I almost feel like I shouldn't find it funny, but I can't help but find it funny that
the 9/11 picture?
Yes, where how he retweeted that. It's like, did he even realize that was the Twin Towers in the background blowing up?
Well, and also, there was, he did actually make a tweet that was honestly legitimately funny, when he was, for some reason, he was tweeting about the Republican debate, whatever, but at one point he's like, now they're talking about pot and weed. There are kids watching this. They must be... No, what was it? He said, I need to get this right. Then he said, now on the debate they're talking about pot/weed. What are they thinking? Kids are watching this show. They must be smoking something. I don't think I said that right. It was funny though. Either way, I think you get the point. I thought it was like legitimately funny. Not just funny as in like, oh, he's kind of in his own little world. But it was just like, it was legitimately funny, I thought.
Yeah. Although, I'm not even sure if I'm still not sure if I'll ever watch Cool Cat Saves the Kids or not. I mean,
I really want to, but at the same time, I don't want to support Derek Savage. Like I said, I do feel bad for him, but not bad enough to the point where I want to support him. I don't want to financially support him.
It's this is kind of a weird example, but I was watching a bunch of Chris Stuckman's reviews you know, he was talking about, you know, villains, how it's like, it's good to have a villain where you understand their motives.
Yeah.
I almost feel like that comes off as a bit too mean, but...
What?
How he's like, he's in the wrong, but you understand his motives.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe when you put it that way, I just thought maybe, you know, people would think that I think he's evil, but no.
Okay, that's what you're getting at.
I don't think he's evil, but, you know, it's like, yeah. I don't know why I brought that up. I should have.
I think I get what you were getting at, but how long have we been recording, by the way? I mean, you don't have to check, but do you happen to know? So I don't want to go on too long. You know, this is the pilot. The sound is really bad. I don't even know if anybody's still listening at this point.
A good amount of podcasts go on for 2+ hours. So if
I know. I mean, I like to listen to podcasts. Like if podcast, I like to listen to podcasts. Buddhist. I like to listen to
Buddhist.
I like to listen to Buddhist podcasts. But I could listen to like Ear Biscuits, for example, Rhett and Link's podcast. I could listen to that for many hours. I could listen to that for all day, really. But I just don't know if we're being that entertaining, if there's still going to be people listening. I think I didn't actually talk about, well, I guess I can talk about this when we film the intro later. You know, we'll film that when we're not moving. But about how, you know, I'm going to put this video up on both my channel and your channel, just so it gets exposure from both of our audiences.
Okay.
Just, yeah, I'm sure I will hopefully bring that up. I hope I don't forget. But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, Derek Savage. Are we done talking about Derek Savage?
I think we pretty much said what we wanted to.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else to
Well,
say.
there's always the fact about his movie, his new movie, his Gun Safety for Women and Men Too, which that's not actually part of the title, that's just on the poster. I think because people were complaining that it was just gun safety for women, and then he decided to add and men too.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you think about it, it's
but
like,
if you're going to do that, why don't you just call it gun safety?
yeah, I mean, why? Honestly, I don't know anything about guns, but wouldn't gun safety be the same thing for both men and women?
You would think so.
I mean, it's like
I'm pretty sure that there's nothing different about men and women that would change the way that you use a gun. I don't think.
Men and women are the same. You got that.
What?
You said, I'm pretty sure there's nothing different about men and women. I know what you meant, though.
Men don't always have boobs.
Okay, that was a bit
beautiful. You like that mental image? What?
I almost retweeted this, but for some reason I didn't. It was Review Tech USA tweeted this. He said, I'm done. It was a picture of a Twitter account. It was called...
Oops, camera fell. Oh, we're at McDonald's anyway. Okay, just finish up.
It was called Markiplier's Nipple. Or the profile picture was Markiplier's nipple. But it was... Oh my goodness. It was just weird. I don't remember what the description was. It was just something weird. I don't know what was funnier, that or the fact that he was like, I'm done.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a good way to end it. Markiplier's nipple.
Markiplier's nipple.
So,
I can't talk today.
Anyway, yeah, we were driving to McDonald's. I don't know if we said that at the top, but now we're here. We live in a town that doesn't have McDonald's. We got to drive a good 40 miles away to get to McDonald's. But now we're here, so I guess this is where we'll end the podcast. Yeah, again, like I said, feedback is very important. If you loved it, if you hated it, even if you just watched all the way through, just please leave some feedback about anything at all that you have to say about it. And of course, I did mention though, don't mention anything about the audio quality because that's just for this pilot podcast. This is just focus on. You can't see, but I'm doing hand gestures like I always do, and Logan is imitating me.
I should have gone to bed earlier.
You should have. But anyway, so I guess that's it. And yeah, please leave a like or dislike depending on if you did or didn't, and some feedback, and subscribe to both of us if you like to subscribe to people.
His channel is better.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I just choked him, by the way.
Yeah, except he didn't.
Yeah.